In 2 days, it will be 8 years since my dad died in his sleep, and it still hurts that I didn't get to tell him that I loved him. And I decided tonight, about a half hour ago, that I wanted to do something to remember him by that he never would have done. He never would have done something like this. My dad was kind of a peculiar guy. He had a big red mustache, he wore suspenders, and he was a welder. He loved my mom, and he loved Budweiser, probably a little too much. And my dad kind of started to become a little afraid of me, probably when I started getting boobs and hit puberty, and we'd do the kind of ass out, back patting hug. And my dad probably had some level of dyslexia and learning disability. He stopped being able to help me with my homework, my math homework, when I was in about 3rd grade. But he worked so hard. He worked at the same steel mill since 1974. And he showed up every day and worked tirelessly welding in Phoenix, Arizona. And those are some very hot environments. And I can remember being a kid and riding in my dad's 1987 Chevy pickup, and it would be 110 degrees outside, and he'd be driving me home from grade school, and the heat would be on in this truck. And I would just be like sweltering and pawing at the window, and he'd be explaining to me that it helps him acclimate to his welding environment. So when I had to go home to Phoenix in February, it was unseasonably hot in 2016. It was like 90 degrees in February. And, sudden death is such a chaotic thing. And one thing that I was tasked with was dropping off my dad's death certificate to the HR department at the steel mill that he worked at since 1974. And I never had a reason to ever go visit my dad at work or see what a steel mill was like. And I had this phenomenal existential crisis seeing where my dad worked, where he showed up to every single day and worked so hard to provide a wonderful life for me. And there was a security guard there, and I rolled down my driver's side window, and I introduced myself as Stacey Lansdowne and explained that I needed to go in to drop off some paperwork for my dad. And this man that I'd never seen before in my life kind of leans forward and says, "Oh boy, are you Bruce's daughter? Are you the nurse? Boy, was he proud of you." And I just completely lost it. And just having this moment of knowing that my dad would never be able to tell me that he was proud of me again, and I would never get to tell him that I loved him. But knowing that he loved me as much as he did and talked to the security guard about how proud he was of me, just made it hurt a little bit less. And in 2 days, we'll be at 8 years, and I still miss him. But I'm proud to have done this little thing for him tonight.